We are so glad to have you join us for this discussion with industry insiders about configuration trends and topics. The Configuration Workgroup, a leading organization focused on configuration, recently wrapped their first ever virtual conference, and it brought the first worldwide audience, record attendance, and an abundance of great content. We've brought together some of eLogic's configuration leaders to talk about their top takeaways from the event and discuss configuration trends at large. Let's start things off with James. James, what stood out to you about CPQ at this year's conference compared to last?
Yeah, hi, Matt. Thank you. CPQ, one of the things that stood out was CPQ is the main topic for many of the conversations. The presentations were right on CPQ. It was mentioned not just by us, not just by SAP, but many other presentations had that. So I had to ask myself, why? Why was it so prevalent in many of the presentations? And I believe it's because of how much SAP CPQ has matured in functionality to now be a central piece to SAP's configuration solution. As you think about it like this, SAP has had a good set of configuration applications around CPQ, but now CPQ is kind of like that hub. Think about it, commerce, right, where a lot of the public and distributors come in are utilizing that and then feed in information to CPQ and CPQ the other way. Same with CRM, and then especially with variant configuration where they have their models and their pricing. That's feeding CPQ, and then CPQ is feeding that with order information. So it's a lot like this hub, and by it being set up as this hub, a lot of people are seeing this and the way they set it up, and it's become a big topic of conversation compared to last year.
So, James, to round out your point, what are some specific ways CPQ has matured to be a central application?
Yeah, I think the main reason for its maturity is its integration with variant configuration with VC. Right? A year ago, it was a pain. It was a pain to figure out the pieces needed to integrate VC. There were nice diagrams showing it, but to find those pieces and put them together wasn't as easy. Well, now SAP has put those pieces together in a licensing way. So you can buy SAP CPQ for variant configuration, and you'll have what's required. We've seen this in implementations that we've done where people have already purchased it, even in talking beforehand in discovery. And when they have that, we know they have the pieces, and we've seen that in our own S4 system, where we're able to demo for customers and show companies how CPQ works with their VC models. And with our focus on manufacturing companies, right, we know this is key. Customers want to be able to use their VC and know it's easily going to be used within their CPQ system. Another way that CPQ has really matured is just in their basic acronym, right? Configuration, price, and quoting. SAP has continued to move forward with new releases, and they even have a CPQ roadmap right now. So when you see a roadmap, see the releases and a roadmap, then people are saying, yeah, this is real. And they see this roadmap that's part of this hub I was talking about. And when they see that, they know that they're going to be continue to add enhanced functionality that they're going to be able to trust CPQ in the future. So I expect next year to see even more robust CPQ presentations.
That's great, James. Thank you. Scott, what aspect of the CWG conference left the biggest impression on you?
Yeah, for me, it was this very similar to what James was talking about, but at a slightly more technical level. It's the model once and use anywhere concept that has really become a reality now for the CWG community and for configuration users. You know, I've been around the CWG for a long time. We're a very technical organization, right? We spend a lot of time building these models, and a lot of us have decades of decades of experience in these models, and they're very robust, but they've been locked up behind inside the SAP system or inside the ERP system for so long. And finally now, as James mentioned, all the pieces are in place to model once inside SAP with AVC or VC, and then use in Commerce Cloud, use in CPQ, and expose those out, and through the microservices, expose those out to a whole new audience. It breathes all new life into these VC models that have kind of been trapped inside the organization for a long time, and that gets me really excited.
So this technology does sound robust, but what does it mean for companies?
Yeah, so the practical impact is, if we go back, these are very smart people who built these models, right? And they put in a lot of logic to protect themselves from making errors and mistakes. Now you can take that protection and give it to the customer. So now the customer can feel comfortable configuring a very complex product, a very nuanced product, and know that the rules are there to back them up all the way through to fulfillment, that they'll be safe, right? And then that same model is available to the sales rep. So in a situation where the customer gives it a shot, he configures, hands it over, and then the sales rep comes in after him and says, hey, I see what you did here. It's close. Why don't we make these 5 changes? Because I know the product a bit better than you, and I think this will meet your needs better. And by the way, while we're doing that, we'll give you a little more of a discount and adjust the pricing a bit more. And those two parties, the customer and the sales rep or the field agent or the distributor, are all looking at the same rule set that came out of SAP in Model 1s, right? And what's the impact of that is that you got the customers can quote with more confidence. The salespeople can also quote with more confidence, less knowledge ramp, right? Less mistakes, more quote accuracy, more quote consistency. That consistency goes all the way through fulfillment, so you get less errors. And the real things behind that, right? You have increased quote volume, decreased errors at the quote level, at the order level, at the manufacturing level, and those are real dollars. Those aren't like fluffy efficiency gains. Those are real things that CFOs will approve.
That's great. Thanks, Scott. So, Lawrence, this may sound like a simple question with a complex answer, but what makes advanced variant configurator advanced?
Well, it's built from the ground up with a state-of-the-art constraint-solving engine that natively leverages the S/4HANA architecture. AVC is the future of SAP configuration, as all new feature development has been exclusive to the AVC for several years now. Many of the features that have been requested by the user community over the last couple of decades, really, have been or are planned to be incorporated into the AVC. These features include powerful new syntax, engineer-to-order functionality, as well as a loose coupling between sales and manufacturing configuration.
So is the AVC only available in S/4HANA? And do I have to switch to the AVC when I migrate to S/4HANA?
So there's a lot of confusion about this topic, but yes, you do have to migrate to S/4HANA to run the AVC. And if you're using the S/4HANA Cloud Edition, that only supports the AVC. Now, most customers will run S/4HANA on-premise or in a private cloud, and they will also have the option to continue running the classic configurator. SAP is developing migration tools to help customers migrate their classic configuration models to AVC models when the customers are ready to make the switch.
So how does a customer decide when to move to AVC?
Yeah, well, that's a longer discussion, and there are many customer-specific considerations. In general, a customer should move to AVC when all of their current configuration use cases are supported by the AVC, and when they can make the business case for the added functionality that comes with the AVC. It's quite similar to how SAP is taking, say, available to promise, ATP, and it will be eventually replaced by advanced ATP. How they're taking APO, and it will be eventually replaced by IBP. These, like ABC, these are the next generation solutions from SAP. The bottom line is really that the sooner you can make the move to AVC, the better, to leverage that technology and all of the new development. But you need to make sure that the AVC is ready for you and that you are ready for the AVC.
Well, thank you, Lawrence, Scott, and James. This has been a great conversation, and I appreciate you all sharing your thoughts with us. For more content like this, please subscribe to the eLogic blog, where we'll be posting some of the CWG virtual conference presentations from our eLogic configuration experts. Again, thanks for joining us.